from high atop my mountaintop. This is Mount Manitoba, and this is Not in Hall of Fame presenting How the Hell Did This Go Number One? And sometimes it's pretty easy to know the answer. But let me introduce my co-hosts. Of course, me, I'm Kirk Buchner. You know me, you love me, maybe you don't.
I love you.
Well, I appreciate that. Muchos.
We love you, Kirk.
So much. And I've got with me Andrea Tessmann, so you got back second billing, and Brad Nelson. Yeah. And Andrea, you wanted to honor the late, the great Olivia Newton-John, and thank you for not picking a Grease song.
I was so close. So close.
I know you
But
were.
I gotta say, this song there's more to talk about with this song than there is with Grease.
But are we gonna do it horizontally?
I'm going to stay vertical.
Well, there's so much. Okay, so we're talking about Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical.
Monster hit of 1981.
Monster. The number one hit of the 80s, and it came out in 1980 fucking one.
That's
10 weeks.
Actually, I
10 weeks.
So let's get to how we got here. Olivia Newton-John was already a massive star.
She will always be Sandra D to me.
Lousy with virginity.
Won't go to bed till she's legally wed. It's me. I'm Sandra D.
All these people in the film were in their late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we are going to sing musicals through this entire episode just to piss you off, Kirk.
Although I haven't seen Xanadu yet.
Well, if Andrea would have picked one of the earlier number ones, Magic, then we would have had to. But so this was correct me if I'm wrong, lady and gent. This was her
fifth number one and her last.
Final. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. She did have hits afterward, but this was her apex. So we're going into this. So we have somebody who is now not just a music star, but she's an international star.
Yes, she is.
You wherever you go, you know who she
Star
is.
of film and stage. I mean,
right.
music.
Yes, but I mean, other than Grease, she never had a hit. Xanadu was a flop.
Yeah.
2 years later, after this, she did Two of a Kind. I never saw that movie. I actually read the Wikipedia.
Terrible.
I didn't even realize it existed.
The plot, based on the plot, I didn't bother, even though the fine actor Scatman Crothers is in it, and that's usually enough for me.
I'm the Scatman.
Okay. Both of you can fuck off, and I'll tell you why. Scatman is an icon, and it pisses me off because I had to do a bit of research for another show that I did, and Scatman was in it. It was the Harlem Globetrotters visit Gilligan's Island. We're starring Scatman. And it pisses me off that when you type in Scatman, that stupid song comes up first and not Scatman Brothers. Let's rename the show. Kirk is annoyed by two people
who have excellent musical taste.
Yeah, but if you have taste in musicals, doesn't that sort of negate? Anyway, moving on.
No.
Moving right along.
It simply proves that we are the next step in the evolution of human beings.
Yeah, I'll run with that. So 1980, okay, after the flop of Xanadu, which still wasn't a flop musically, because that did generate number 4, Magic.
Yep.
Magic.
Yes. So like that did well. I think even the title track, Xanadu, was a hit. So now, is this really a different musical direction for Olivia Newton-John? And
100% it is.
Okay, so it is, but it is Olivia Newton-John's Sandra D story arc of going from the sweet adult contemporary ballads to the like hard-hitting, sexy pop.
This song was so sexy, two Utah stations banned it from the airwaves.
Well, it's Utah. Can you blame them?
Well, no, I mean, they're just behaving as they're supposed to, but that's how sexy this was. And because it was like it wasn't hidden, like it was pretty overt.
okay, we know each other mentally, but there's nothing else to say unless it's horizontally.
Horizontally.
Hold on. Horizontally.
There you go.
Thank you.
See,
Yeah,
now you can
this
see the
song
joy that
was-
we get when we quote musicals.
This song
This
was
isn't from a musical
overt.
because I didn't just randomly just sing and blurt something out while I'm doing a random task.
Kirk, how long have we been doing this show?
I know.
And how are you not expecting me to just blurt out musical lyrics at any given point?
Doesn't mean.
Come on.
still
We've
not-
known each other for many years now. Like, I think we're going on like 10 years of friendship.
Yeah, about that.
So, this song was overtly sexual in every way. And then they came out with the video.
But
Oh,
let's-
yes.
Let's go back to overtly sexual in every way. Yet, Olivia Newton-John had carved up these years of just making this of a certain type of music that in some people's minds, because it's still soft rock. This is a pop song, yes, but with a little bit more bite, but musically, just the music behind it.
Mhm.
It's not like it's not like this is the second coming of Pat McGuire.
It's soft rock that you then put a whole bunch of synth into it, and it turns it into this like power pop.
Uh-huh.
Power pop is a great way to put it, but this is now music that you could hear as you're picking up your groceries.
That's that is
Now it
very true.
is.
Now it is.
Mhm.
Now it is. Okay.
But at the time it came out, there was a little bit of controversy around it. Not tons, but I mean, well, in Utah, that's a different story. But then the video, like you were saying, Andrea, comes out. Expand on that because brilliant.
You also wear your leotards for this, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm wearing leotards.
You just can't see them.
The bottom
so-
half.
So the video is her with her, she's still got that sweet girl next door charm,
Mhm.
but she's looking slyly at the camera repeatedly. And
abusing the fat man.
And abusing the fat man. Okay, so there's some weird things going on in this video. There's some like
Because it didn't start
not
with
so
Batman.
subtle body shaming. There's some serious slapstick. There is then like a good solid Carly Rae Jepsen ending of them walking off together when they're all buff and they prefer each other to her.
Which is sort of why, hey, women out there, when you're sort of looking at that and you're thinking like, look at how hot those guys are. Really,
Yep.
the realism is the only ones you can really get who will be interested in you are Brad and I.
Hi.
Chances are, based on what I know of Brad, you may have had him already. But anyway,
Listen, just because my number's on several bathroom stalls doesn't mean I am a good time.
well done. Well done.
So the video, we've got Olivia Newton-John being super cute, but also super like borderline raunchy.
Mhm.
But she's
Yeah.
not dressed raunchy.
No,
No.
she's not going like Samantha Fox raunchy here.
No, not at all. And so we got to talk about the era that this is coming out. And this is the beginning of the steroids and the Jane Fonda and the Richard Simmons
Mhm.
and the greased up bodybuilder roid monkey. This is the era of when Mr. Universe became one of the biggest movie stars of all
We're
time.
talking about
This is the-
Schwarzenegger. for
This is
those
the
who don't know.
80s, you know. When
Yeah.
you do that much coke, you want to do stuff. You're going to get buff doing that.
And you're going to then also take other substances to get yourself that buff. This isn't just
Mhm.
Coke fueled, but
No.
Coke has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, so you've got the whole workout thing going on. The chubby dudes are kind of failing. They're not doing so good. So of course, like any good trainer, Olivia goes off to have a shower.
'Cause that's what you do. And you
Yeah.
come back and they're all magically buff,
Because they've been working.
beautiful, oiled up six
She was great
packs.
at her job,
She was.
apparently, for a brief moment in time. What do you think the budget on this was? I mean, they only had like the one room.
And
I
a
don't
shower.
know.
Well, that. Yeah, well, maybe it doubled as a shower. I don't know.
Do you know? Because I have no idea.
No, I
No,
don't
no,
know.
I have no idea. No, this wasn't a rhetorical thing. I was just wondering. I mean, that can't be that. But it was 1981. There wasn't a lot of budget. Whatever it was, they made the most of it.
Oh, yeah.
The aerobics craze, though, too. And this is going to be, I can't believe it's the second time I brought this up in a show. So I brought this up when Chris and I did our last show. Because Marianne was doing aerobics in that Gilligan's Island thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Brad. Okay, I'm going to get all pervy here. Not as pervy as anyway, but anyway, this one.
I
You
can
use it as
accept
pervy
pervy.
as Brad. It's just his natural state.
Yes.
His nickname is Pervy Muppet, and that was given to him by his daughter.
Yay!
So please get pervy. Let's see how far you can go,
Yeah.
Kirk.
Okay,
Make
well,
me blush.
no, I can't. It's not possible. I can make you laugh. I can't play. That's not a task that anyone's up for. Insert joke here. City TV, they're everywhere. Now, where I grew up in Toronto, I think City eventually went across the country.
Yes, it's across Canada now.
Okay, but when I was a kid, that was a Toronto-based station. It was very Toronto, if that makes any sense. I mean, they embraced being a Toronto local station. And as a lot of Canadian channels had to do back then, which they still do, but it's a lot easier now, you had to create a certain amount of produced Canadian content.
They still do.
Yes, they still do, but I mean, now it's a lot easier because the quality is so much better that you can't tell the difference between a Canadian show and an American show. But when I was a kid, sure as fuck could. Anyway, one of the things that they created was called the 20-minute workout, which was pretty much just women in aerobics, or they're doing aerobics and just usually bending over. So what I did, and what a lot of apparently my classmates did too, is we sort of would discuss that over lunch. You just record it, and then you fast forward as you're watching them bend over really fast.
I didn't do it for the comedy.
Okay, in line with that, and not fast forwarding anything, but this was also the era of Body Break with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
Yes.
Yes.
How do you still remember those names?
Because
they're still on TV. At least they were a few years ago.
They were on the Canadian version of Amazing Race.
Oh, wow.
Were they?
Yes.
They were amazing. I gotta give them props. Like those two were like, they were great.
Segue. We'll come back to this, but all right. Which one of you wants to be my partner to apply for? All right, Brad, then it's you, since that sort of worked out. Yeah.
Well, because Andrea took a step back and I stood still.
Yes.
I'm not sure I want to be your partner.
We're not going to
the Canadian Amazing Race. I don't think I want to be a partner with either one of you. I'm going to go find another partner and kick your asses.
Yeah, because dude, I've got this thing where I only run when I'm
In fact,
chased. And
I
there's not a lot of
probably
people
take
chasing.
All
on-
we're going to do is find the bar and promote the site.
Oh, there's a bar?
then I'm in.
We're just sort of like get into that opening, dun dun dun, and then we just have to like practice something like Kirk and Brad.
Can we be a throuple for that?
Why not? We'd be eliminated first, especially considering I'm going to do absolutely nothing.
We're just going to go like, oh, the race is over there, but there's a bar here. We're going up.
That's
Sounds
it
about right.
exactly. That's it exactly.
You guys go ahead and run. We're getting fucking hammered.
There you go. And well, in my mind, I ran really fast. I can't believe I didn't win. So here I am bringing this back. So I'm going to tell you what I used to think this song was when I was 9, because that's when it came out. This was one of my early favorite songs. Obviously, I didn't get the innuendo at all. But I was telling Brad before we went on, before you eventually decided to join us. It's terrible computer.
Wait, is that sign language I see? It's subtle.
I have something in my eye. I'm sorry. It's just like, oh, this eye too.
If you use a different finger, it might be a little bit easier to use. So, oh, wait a minute. Hey. Well done.
Hey.
So, I mean, like,
I was ready to join like 15 minutes
9-year-old
earlier, and Kirk was like, no, wait. Sorry, that was Brad. No, wait.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah. And then I couldn't find the link because apparently I suck. So
Nine-year-old Kirk,
moving right along.
9-year-old Kirk didn't know what a metaphor was, didn't understand innuendo, but knew that it wasn't really about aerobics. Having said that, when I kept using the word besides me when I was a kid, I thought it was, do you know what I mean? That's kind of how I heard it back
No,
then.
you didn't know what she meant.
No, most
Not
of the
at all.
lyrics right
Well,
over the
not to
head.
that level. I mean, getting physical, I didn't know what that shit was. My wife can
still
tell you I
not
barely
sure.
do now. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, I almost wonder, did she get, and I know we talked about the Utah thing, how, there was a couple stations that clearly knew exactly what this was, but I honestly think that, I mean, a lot of the moms listening to that, because it still had that little bit of a smooth jazz feel, a little bit of a dance thing that worked.
Power pop, like Andrea said before, I think was spot on.
What's that?
Yeah, I honestly think it was catchy. It was just a product of the perfect time. It was talking about sex. So the few stations that caught on to that and didn't play it, that actually amped it up. And
Well, it's just like when the Bare Naked Ladies were banned.
Because of the name, yeah. But I couldn't find anything where, and that's another thing Brad and I were talking about before you decided to eventually join us. Yeah.
You're going to get more sign language lessons here if you keep that up, Kirk.
But no, it's. I was trying to come up with a modern parallel, and the best I could come up with, and again, I'm going to go back to Canada, but she did chart everywhere. Nelly Furtado, who kind of went in a different direction after her first album. And if you just heard, like, I'm Like a Bird, and like, okay, 4 years later, she's going to be sort of like talking about banging Timbaland or whatever the hell it was. It was a bit of a departure where it felt like it came out of nowhere. And I was wondering if people back then, and I couldn't find anything to that effect, had a similar vibe.
I'm sure it does, because there's so many of them. There's Nelly Furtado. Look more recently, there's what's her Wrecking Ball.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, but that was different though.
No, but there's so even Britney Spears. There's so many of the like pure innocent little starlets
that are not that innocent.
But okay,
but then
that's different.
Push back against it. So I don't think this is really any different. She was the pure innocent little starlet.
No, it is different. It is different. I can tell you why. Because in every one of those cases, they were manufactured. And so they were manufactured as growing up. And then it's finally like, okay, they got to do their own little thing. Olivia Newton-John became a star in her early 20s.
Yeah, and the weird thing was she started off country and then went pretty much adult contemporary.
Yeah.
And then to launch something like this was definitely a bit of a shift. And even in her country days, she was a bit of an outsider. She fit in well with the AC group, the adult contemporary group. Mm-hmm. And then getting into this, she never had another number one after this, but she still did chart. She had a couple more tracks that came out.
My favorite song actually came after this from that shitty movie that I'm assuming it's shitty, from Two of a Kind, Twist of Fate. That's a banger, I think. And I thought that was more of a departure than this was.
Well, this was interesting because she dirtied it up a little bit. And we all know in music, sex sells. It's just in music, in TV, in advertising, in movies, it doesn't matter what you market. If you market it with sex, you then immediately, it increases your sales.
So can I with this go back to the song was originally written for a dude. And you can hear that.
I missed
you can hear it in the opening lines where it's like, I took you out for a nice dinner and to a show. There's nothing else to say.
Women don't take men out. My wife takes
all the time. Not in the late 70s and early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been very and it was written for a dude to sing. Someone
it was written for Sir Rod Stewart.
He was a definite potential, and then it was offered to a woman.
Tina Turner.
Yes, it was, and she said it was too sexual. So then
she
Olivia
comes out with Private Dancer,
right? So then Olivia Newton-John takes it on, and it's this cutesy girl next door, but uber sexual take on it.
Yeah,
And I think it's every nerdy white boy's wet dream.
I'm sure nerdy black boys might have gotten into that.
Well, okay, any nerdy, it's the white picket fence boys' wet dream. This song,
which is why most men pick Marianne over Ginger. But anyway, go on.
100%.
Nope.
He picked Marianne over Ginger. He picked Daphne over Velma.
And then
No, wait. Sorry, other way around. Pick Velma over Daphne.
Nobody picks Velma over Daphne.
I do, and put it in the comments if you would.
Okay.
Brad will take the Ginger any day.
Well, I used to bang Chinese Velma. I wonder if she's watching this now. If you are, you know who you are.
But
Janky.
so my point in why this made number one is it was
Awesome.
the next door neighbor girls, like the wet dream of the next door neighbor girl. Then it was the stay-at-home housewife aerobics class. I could maybe look like that and have hot dudes.
It became an aerobics anthem.
And that's about it. I can't think of any other reason.
No, but it's not that little funky thing to it though, right? I mean, there's so much more. I mean, just musical. I read too, I didn't know this, that pretty much a lot of the members of Toto, that might be an interesting one. At some point, we might look at doing Toto Africa.
Yes.
Have we not done Africa?
We've not done Africa.
Well, I bless the rains down Africa.
By the way. Maybe.
There's an interesting story there.
Yes. Pretty boy, it's written there for you. Anyway, yeah, I mean, look, we should talk about the
Hurry boy, she's waiting there for you.
Isn't it?
Hurry.
Yeah.
Hurry boy.
That's not pretty boys
hurry
are
boy.
waiting.
There's a boy and they're waiting there for you. Whatever the fuck.
Somebody's been reading the wrong lyrics sheet.
He won't go out late at night because there's a bathroom on the right.
There's a bathroom on the right. Oh, have you ever met Smooth Talking Walter? He's a firefighter guy. Smooth Talking Walter, firefighter guy.
Which another one, number one I was looking at was Exile, Kiss You All Over, which as a 6-year-old I thought was, I'm going to kiss you like Grover. Yeah.
I want to kiss you like Grover.
And Grover
again.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Muppet. I didn't know that Muppets couldn't really have sex. I didn't know what sex was.
I swear, Kermit and Miss Piggy, that was a romance of a lifetime.
Can you imagine the abortion that they would have had as a kid? Like, what the hell would have came out of that snatch?
A frig?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Moving right along.
Yes, please. What are you bringing back? I've now got
bringing it back.
Pigogs sort of like in my head, just running around.
So here's a fun fact. Olivia Newton-John's dad was MI5.
Really?
Sorry, it was what?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What is that?
MI5, British Homeland Security.
Oh, okay.
You know how there's MI6, there's the spies. MI5 is the Homeland.
So MI 2.5 or half as good?
No,
Yeah.
MI 2.5, they're the Parcheesi Club.
I throw you a screwball and you always hit a home run. It's awesome.
What else did I have? Oh yeah, this one charted up as Billboard's #1 top single about sex. And this
Baby, let's talk about you and me.
yeah, but this was 2017 or 2020.
Yeah, I was going to ask you when
which,
that was.
but they voted then that this one was the #1 single about sex.
Well, here's a question for both of you that I think is sort of interesting about another, and we've talked about this before, but this is her biggest hit chart-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess it was 5 #1s, but this one was.
This was the biggest. Unequivocally, this was
Well,
the biggest.
10 weeks, man.
Right. But
And the number one of the 80s.
Mhm.
But when you think of her, when you think of an Olivia Newton-John song right now, here in 2022.
Hopelessly devoted to you.
I was gonna say, I mean, like this is not her most enduring.
That was what I was going to go with, hopelessly devoted.
Yeah. So why do we think that? Why is that? Because this is far more contemporary.
Because I love Grease.
People love Grease. I
Mm.
love Grease. The people love Grease.
I don't.
The young people today know Grease, and they don't necessarily know Physical.
Which proves what I've always said: young people are stupid.
Musicals are great.
No, it gives
Also
us hope
proves
for
what I've
future
said.
generations.
Musicals are stupid. Anyway.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, and you're allowed to
And
be
you
wrong.
know what they say about opinions and assholes?
Everybody's got one, and everybody else's stinks.
I was going to say that they both have consonants and letters, but okay, fine, run with it.
Also,
No, I'll
everybody
defend
has
it.
one, but don't take it out in public.
Yeah.
But then we also take our opinions out in public here all the time. So I'm going with Brad's version.
Kirk, also,
One time
I will.
Andrew and I are supposed to be in an asshole crevice, apparently. So, oh wait a minute, no,
I
that
don't
was
think it was an asshole. It was just the crevice.
the crevice. I just made it an asshole.
But Kirk, I'm going to defend to the death your absolute right to be wrong.
Yes. I also support your right to be wrong. So, do we have anything else to say about physical?
About Physical itself, no, but about the woman behind it, one little bit. She's a two-time breast cancer survivor.
Mhm.
She had one bout first diagnosed in 92, flared up again in 2013. And then in 2017, this is the one that got her. It metastasized. It was wrongly diagnosed as sciatica because it had metastasized into her ribs and her backbone. So it was the pain that she was experiencing was wrongly diagnosed as sciatica. She was 73 years old when she passed on, and she passed on at home. God rest her soul, or the flying spaghetti monster, or whatever you believe, dear listener.
I have to say, if you watched her version of Physical that she did on Glee, and it was about 10 years
I
ago.
did not watch Glee, so I'm
No. But listen, she did it with Jane Lynch, and you could hear Jane Lynch's voice was extremely auto-tuned, so she could hit the notes. But Olivia Newton-John's was not. And she looked fucking phenomenal. She must have been about 62, 63. She looked like she was maybe 40. Like, she looked better than me right now. What?
She was also standing next to Jane Lynch.
That will de-age a person.
Still, I love a Jane Lynch. She's great.
But let's just be bold.
But no, she looked phenomenal. She sang great. And it was great. Like, this woman, she was phenomenal up until the day she died. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, maybe not the day she died. We're going to give her some grace for the last few years of cancer deteriorating her without judging anything.
Well, and she's an animal advocate. She was a climate advocate. She did some great
women's health advocate.
Yep. She did some great work with
genuinely seems like a good person.
Yeah.
It was hard to, like, you're not going to find anyone who's going to shit on her when that happened. There's always somebody.
No, she's Sandra Dee.
No,
I honestly,
even before her cancer, I don't think there was anybody shitting on her.
But I'm just saying, because there's always going to be one person or somebody who's going to come up with something.
But whatever it is, she's even before the cancer and oh, you can't shit on the dead. I think she was genuinely a great person. And like a force to be reckoned with.
Well, I didn't find any major scandals in her life. I mean, she had a couple of marriages and all that fun stuff, but there was no big scandal.
So have you.
I have as well. I've also had several scandals.
That's just this week.
All right. So on that note,
this week, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's talking about next week's pick?
Now, Kirk said he was either going to reward us or he was going to punish us.
You laugh like that. We don't trust you.
I'm going to give you guys a choice.
Okay.
I've got three in my head. We can either do a very interesting one-hit wonder from a band. If I told you the name, you'd never know it, but you know the song. Or we could look at an interesting double shot, a song that went number one twice from two different artists that I think could be a very interesting sort of look at. Or three, I can give you shit. I can give you a steaming pile of shit from the 70s.
I've done that a lot towards the one-hit wonder.
We're going with one.
The first, the second one is that?
No, the one-hit
Number one. Number one.
Oh, it's number one. The first thing
with a bullet.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sing the first little bits of this, and I know that the two of you, are going to be able to finish it. You ready?
Hit it.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you the band name first.
Okay.
Steam. All right. That's what I thought.
Steam?
Steam.
Oh.
You know it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you stay out of this. This is just for Andrea. All right. Andrea. Na 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 na.
Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
So that is what we're going to look at. This one, number one in 1969.
He
By
doesn't
Steam.
love you.
Yeah.
The
So I
way
think
that I love you.
And I don't know much about this song. I don't know much about this band, but
First time I heard it was when the Nylons covered it.
me too. Well, no. Actually, no, that's not true. That's actually when Bananarama covered it.
Oh.
Yes, and that was used by. Well, I'll save that for next week. But anyway, so
Yeah, we can't go into that. We've done that before.
we've
Yes.
done that before. That's how when we killed Billy Vera and the Beaters at this moment. And
Yes.
I won't make that mistake again.
Hey,
Hey,
Kirk.
Kirk, did you write a book?
You know, as a matter of fact, I did.
Well, you did not. What's it called? Prove it.
Well, I'm going to prove it to you because you can actually go. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon, so it must be legit.
What? It's on the internet?
It's on the internet.
The
It is on the
interwebs.
Internet.
You know what the internet's for, Andrea?
Porn.
The
I've seen that one.
internet is more porn. The internet is more porn.
Okay,
Why do you think the net is porn? Porn, porn, porn.
before my plugs,
Brad does it better than I do.
I just want to say that musical is okay because it's puppets.
Anybody not knowing where that comes from, it's Avenue Q. Check it out. It's fucking hilarious.
Internet is really, really great.
And
Everybody gets in on this.
I
Love
saw
it.
that at Massey Hall. So
Oh,
Pauline,
I
I
have a
saw
fast
it.
connection, so I can really
I don't have to
wait.
wait. For porn.
that is better than I can do. But yes, my book is not about porn. Although
Oh.
there's sex in it. John Holmes is mentioned in this book.
Oh, well, then there's a saving grace.
There you go. Chavo Guerrero, instant classic about the late, great Chavo Guerrero Sr. I'm very proud of that book, which is probably the only book I'm ever going to write. But you can buy it.
Buy the book. It
What's
would
the
make
next
a
holiday
great
coming up?
thing. Okay, we're getting close to Christmas season. Think about the Christmas presents.
That's right. Think you
For
know,
your wrestling loving gift recipients, just buy the book.
Hey, Labor Day is coming up next month. It's a great Labor Day present.
and it's no labor to read my book.
Hey, Kirk, tell us about the Hall of Fame.
Well, there's lots of Hall of Fames.
How many halls of fame are there?
Well, only one that really matters right now.
This one.
Well, there's that, but it's the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. Hey, sports fans, do you know that there's never been a United States Athletic Hall of Fame until I
What?
made one?
I'm a gigantic sports fan, and I didn't know that.
You are no, never mind. Sports are not in your fandom.
Well, you can vote on this, www.nothalloffame.com/USA. If you like fake sports, hey, guess what else I made up? The Fictitious Athlete Hall of Fame. You can vote on that too. The Fictitious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for fake bands. Although some bands have gotten in that actually have performed. It's
Are
very
Josie and the
confusing.
Pussycats in there?
Yes, they are.
Are the monkeys in there?
Yes, they are.
Nice.
Yes.
Hey, they have a barrel of fun.
Oh, are Wild Stallions in there?
Yes, they are, dude.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
The Archies are also in there.
they are. And this is the great thing about
And the
my
Chipmunks.
Do you know what the great thing about my halls of fame are, though? I don't decide who gets in. All of you do. That's
democracy.
democracy.
Feel the power.
Very good. Very good. So there's a couple other shows coming up. Hey, the group, the Not in Hall of Fame crew, we debated who should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and we reacted when the senior candidates came out. Brad, I know how upset you were that Lavi Dilweg, former Green Bay Packer, was not inducted.
That was a dark day in history.
It was.
Did you see that ludicrous display?
I did. I put together a whole crew where we talked about that. That's there. Also, that just came up is the last episode of the Classic Sports Review, because my partner is in Antarctica.
Again? I thought he came back.
Yeah, he did. Now he went back.
I bless the rains in Antarctica.
I don't think they are. I think it's the snows in Antarctica.
Oh.
But we just
isn't it winter in Antarctica right now? Like, isn't this the worst time of year to
winter
be
in
there?
Antarctica?
Like, he's gonna know the difference. Len, I hope you're watching, buddy.
Well, it's 100 below.
Yeah.
Anyway, we looked at that Colorado-Detroit game, the malice at that palace. Okay, that was a basketball game, but that's okay. Anyway, that was something we looked at recently. Chris Bourdet and I we're just waiting for that episode to come up. It is when the Harlem Globetrotters visited Gilligan's Island. Which is as awful as it sounds.
Back in here, a tale.
Tale of the Fateful Trip. And Evan Nolan and I, our regular show, the Hall of Fame show, where we examine a Hall of Fame related news, is always up every week. And he's my oldest co-host in terms of longevity. Actually, my oldest co-host is you, Brad.
Hi. But you've got me by a couple of months, so you're the oldest host of this show.
I'm the only host of this show.
And also the youngest.
That's also true. Oh, shit! I just realized. Yeah. By the way, I'm 2 days away from fucking 50.
Oh, dude.
So.
You are very close in birthday to your wife.
I am. Yeah, she just celebrated number.
You've got me more than a couple of months then, because I'm hitting 49 this year. You got me by a year and a couple of months.
Yeah, I got you by a full year. Amazingly, I look much better, but that's okay.
Well, I mean,
ouch.
It's true, Kirk. What can I say? I mean, I'm playing second fiddle to this shining example of manhood on my screen in front of me here.
I wasn't going about my masculinity. I'm just saying I held up pretty damn good.
You're looking good, man.
From the neck up.
I think you both have held up well, and honestly, you both look younger than a lot of the dudes that think they're 43 on my dating apps. So
Andrea also needs prescriptions, new prescriptions.
Yes. No, I'm just comparing you to the dudes pretending that they're under 45, and you look great, both of you.
I just want to point out, all my hair is still here, still pretty damn good. But anyway,
all my hair's still here too.
In a bag.
Some of it's gone.
It's just migrated down your back a little bit.
A little bit. I should grow a skullet.
Don't do that.
Oh, can you imagine a little Tennessee waterfall going on back here?
Do not do that. Panel? And Kirk, let's end this now.
And with that, wherever you are, maybe you're not on the mountaintop of Manitoba like I am, but wherever you may be, stay safe, everyone. We love you here in the Bucknerverse.
Bye.
Good night.